Many job seekers spend up to 8 hours a day spinning their wheels, wasting their time, and wasting their energy. But this is not going to be you. In today's video, I'm going to show you why working smarter is better than working harder in your strategic job search. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit the subscribe button down below and then hit that bell while you're there so that you're notified every time I release a new video. My name is Stoltzfus. I'm the founder of the Job Hackers Network. I help experienced engineering and operations leaders to control their career by building their brand and growing their impact. Today's video is part 3 of a 3-part series on unleashing your engineering and operations leadership career. So if you haven't already done so, then make sure to look for the links in the description below to part 1 and part 2 of that 3-part series. All right, let's dive into the 3-part formula to work smarter, not harder, in your strategic job search. Part 1, step 1, is going to be to focus on high ROI activities. This is something that is probably near and dear to your heart, right? In engineering and ops, you're always going to be looking in your day job towards that work that is going to give you that high ROI. We don't have enough time in the day to do everything, right? We've got to focus in on those specific things that we know are going to hit hard and give us impact. So let's do that in the job search. I want to talk to you a little bit about the Pareto Principle, right? Pareto Principle, also called the 80-20 rule. It tells us that 20% of our input, what we put into something, creates 80% of our output, the results. We find this when we look at pretty much any book of business with a clientele. 20% of your clients create 80% of your worth, your wealth, right? But we find this in the activities that we perform in the job search as well, where 20% of the work that we put in, the input, actually creates the majority of the output. So let's look at this from the perspective of what the data shows us on what is the most high ROI work that you can be doing, the activities in the job search. And I'm gonna be a spoiler here. It keys right into networking. All right, so let's look on the data on networking. According to HubSpot, 85% of jobs are filled through networking. 85, 80, it's even higher than that 80-20 rule. According to Zippia's research, the same number, 85% of jobs are filled via networking. According to CNBC, 70% of jobs are never published publicly. If they're not published publicly, how are they filled? Through networking, through those connections. And according to a LinkedIn study, 70% of the participants in this study were hired by a company where they had a connection on the inside. Again, networking. So here we're proving out with the research, with the data, that 20% that creates 80% of the result, the output, is in networking. So if we want to work smarter, not harder, then we really can just focus 1 hour a day instead of 5 hours a day, right? 20% on networking and get to the same result as if we were spending a 5-hour day in that job search. Let's go into step 2 of the 3-part framework, and that is going to be to utilize proven processes. Absolutely critical. So critical that in our day job, this is how we approach almost anything, right? Let's say that you're coming across a problem, right? You're trying to engineer a new device. You're always going to look to the specs. You're always going to look to the processes. You're always going to look to the things that you have done before. And if you haven't done it before, then you're going to go right over the aisle to your neighbor, to another director of engineering, another director of ops, and say, hey, I believe you've done this before. How did you do it? Who did you pull in? What were the resources? Who was the project manager for that task that you were getting done? You're going to processes. You're going to what's been proven, looking right over the aisle to somebody who's done it before you. This brings me to an example. Right? When I was at ADP, director of HR at ADP and HRBP, one of the things that I would typically do is connect people, right? People who had done things before. So I found out that in one of our silos, in our 2,500 person site, one of our silos was getting ready to create a chat team. Well, I knew that about a year before, in one of the other groups, and unfortunately I do describe it as a silo because these groups didn't know that they had done this same work. In this other silo, they had implemented a chat team about a year before. It was 9 months into execution, was doing very well, and was actually known across the United States as being one of the first chat teams implemented. We did it right out of our site in El Paso, Texas. So I connected these two people so that one could follow the process, the proven process of the other, right? We do it in our day job. But somehow, when we get to the job search process, we turn our brains off. And we act differently. And I see it day in and day out. Seasoned director of operations, director of engineering, individuals that are coming in have been following processes day in and day out for 20 years in their career, but then we jump into the job search and process goes to the wind. And we just start applying to jobs online like everybody else. It's maddening. It's craziness. To be able to work smarter, not harder, that second step, you've got to follow proven processes of the people who have come before you and done it well with excellence. And do it in that realm where the Pareto Principle is taking us, that realm of networking. If this is helping you, then hit that like button down below as well. And then I'd love for you to give me a comment. Here's what I want you to comment on. I want you to answer this question. Have you implemented a process where you went just to another peripheral group, where you reached over the aisle and you grabbed a process from somebody else and found tremendous success in it? Comment in the comments below and tell me about that time that you reached over the aisle and you followed a proven process.
Are you ready to start or optimize your job search process? Do you feel stuck and need help connecting the dots? Join this free web class where you'll learn the step-by-step formula to control your career progression. We've helped hundreds of experienced engineering and operations leaders just like you to build their brand and grow their impact. Register for this exclusive training today to step into the driver's seat of your career.
Step 3 of the 3-part framework is going to be to engage a coach. As you're approaching your job search and you're wanting to go about it in a strategic manner, right? You're going to be thinking about the right activities and driving towards those. You're going to be following proven process, but who do you get that proven process from? Let's take a step back and go back into your day job. As you're approaching this project, let's say that we were going to implement that chat team. First thing that we would do, right, is we would think about process, who's done it before, but then we'd think about, do we need a consultant on this? Do we need somebody to come in from the outside and look at our internal systems? Do we need experts, subject matter experts? Maybe we need somebody to specifically look at how we can become more lean in our processes. Right? We bring in subject matter expertise. That is what a career coach can be for you. I want to show you a little bit of data on what has been found to occur for individuals who are trying to approach their job search and they choose to use a career coach. According to a study by the Harvard Business Review, job seekers who used career coaches found new jobs 20% faster than those who didn't. And this is looking at whether the career coach is good or bad. Just they used a career coach in general. 20% faster. What would that mean to you? If you were on a job search and it took you 5 months and you could knock a month off of that and do it in 4, you would be back to earning income a month quicker. If you have a job right now, you would be transitioned into a job that actually plays to your strengths, that fuels and engages you a month sooner. What would that mean to how you would be able to come home to your family, bring home energy? It's huge from a financial perspective, but from an energy perspective, absolutely huge. According to a survey conducted by LinkedIn, employees who use career coaches were promoted at a 50% higher rate than those who did not. So now you're in the role and you're trying to advance within an organization, right? At ADP, one of the things that I had the honor of being able to do is lead the global career development teaching program across ADP, the webinar delivery program, teaching about networking and branding and things of that nature across 17 different subjects. And what we found is that people who were involved in those courses were more likely to get promoted, were much more likely to stay within the organization and be retained. Right? The people that we invested in. You absolutely can invest in yourself through career coaching, through bringing in proven process, to be able to advance in your career as long as that career coach has a capability and a palette and a strength in helping you transition internally. Not just one who's helping you try to solve a pain point and get a job, but one who's going to stick with you and help you change the trajectory. Little degree, like you change 1 degree, 2 degrees here, the trajectory at the end of your career at retirement is going to exponentially change. If we make small tweaks here, boom, huge changes at the end, right? And we can't overlook that. And this is one of the things that you can get from a career coach who will help you focus on your internal career development as well. And then the last data point, a survey conducted by the Institute of Coaching reported that coaching helped executives increase their income by 22%. 22%. So now you're able to land that job 20% quicker, but the income results 22% higher on the whole. What would you do with 22% more income, more revenue? How would that help you impact your family, plan for your future, impact other people's lives? And I do truly believe that that's why we do what we do. That's why we are leaders, because we desire to impact people's lives day in and day out. And I applaud you for being a person who's doing that. So there you go. There is the 3-part framework to work smarter and not harder in your strategic job search, right? A job search where you see the target, you see the vision, and you're executing according to that. That is strategy, to assure that you're going to get there, to improve at every angle your probability of getting there. So you've got number 1, focus on high ROI activities. Number 2, to utilize proven processes. And number 3, to engage a coach. As we're wrapping up this video, be sure to check out part 1 and part 2 that I'm going to put up in the corner here so that you can, if you haven't already seen them, go back. If you've already seen them, go back anyway. Put all of these 3 things together so that you can absolutely unleash your career in engineering and operations leadership. I look forward to seeing you on the next video.